Hi, this is Reverend Bill Banuchi, the Executive Director of the New York State Faith and Freedom Coalition, with this week's Family News Watch. And today is Monday, June 12th, 2023. First of all, news item. We had a great fundraiser last week for the John 1721 Tent Meeting Project here in the Hudson Valley as we prepare for our revival meetings coming up on September 23rd. Now, you can still donate to the cause to see this happen. Simply make out your check to the Howells Church and put John 1721 Project in the memo section and mail it to 41 Church Street, Howells, New York, 10932. And you can be invested in this revival project for the Hudson Valley and, in fact, for New York State. In fact, speaking of New York State, the New York State Legislature up in Albany just finished their session for the year. A report from attorney Bobby Ann Cox tells us that the Democrat control of the New York State Senate and the Assembly with a supermajority in both houses, so they literally don't have to. They don't need even one Republican to vote with them to pass a single bill. They have complete and utter control of the laws that govern your life. The governor is also a Democrat, and technically she can veto their bills, but she won't. And even if she does, they still have a supermajority that they could override her vetoes. They have 100% total control. And when one party has total control, they go totally out of control. The facts are that the Democrats have a supermajority in our government, and they're not just trampling on your rights, they're abolishing them at a rapid rate. If you don't wake up and start pushing back, you'll find yourself living in a totalitarian regime where criminals and illegals have more rights than hardworking, tax-paying, law-abiding citizens. That shift, she tells us, has already begun. The Dems don't care if the bill is unconstitutional. They'll pass it anyway. It's the catch me if you can attitude. They know that if they are challenged in a lawsuit, it'll take years and hundreds of thousands of dollars to wind its way through the court system. All the while, they'll implement their illegal laws until a court actually strikes it down and forces them to stop. One example is the New York Early Mail Voter Act, which further opens the door to election tampering, unsafe ballot delivery, and a whole host of possible shenanigans that will help the supermajority Dems stay in superpower, unless and until a lawsuit is brought to strike down the bill, which is unconstitutional. The Democrats wait until the very end in the dark of night, literally, when their constituents are not paying attention, because most of them are in bed at that time. And one church example is the clean slate bill that they just passed. This is an offensive bill, not to mention dangerous. A bill passed by both houses, and despite the fact that every single Republican voted against it, it passed. The clean slate law, once signed by the governor, will allow criminals to have their records essentially wiped clean by automatically sealing the criminals' records. And we're not talking about just misdemeanors here. It includes most felonies. Republicans, all of whom voted against the bill, point out that New Yorkers with a criminal record can already request past crimes to be sealed in court. But the Clean Slate Act literally removes judicial discretion completely. So judges no longer can decide if the record is to be sealed or not. It will be sealed. The communists in Albany just decided that for everyone else. Now, the New York Early Mail Voter Act. Understand this: weakening election integrity is the name of their game. And this legislation jammed through the other day is just that. Assemblyman Chris Tague spoke out passionately against this unconstitutional bill on the Assembly floor. Assemblyman Tague points out the illegal nature of the bill. Mail ballots are not supposed to be used whenever and however you want. Like, for example, because you're too lazy or to vote on election day, or you want more time to ballot harvest before election day. They passed a bill giving illegal immigrants free health care, or should I say health care that you and I will pay for. So if you want more help, If you want to understand what's going on with the state and really be an impact to help our state come back to some kind of common sense of laws, you can help by going to www.unitingnys.com and signing up to be kept in the loop. Now, some events that we have coming up. Thursday, June 15th, at Faith Assembly of God. Bob Schultz will be there, longtime grassroots political activist and chairman of We the People. He will be there. And Bob says that there is a cause for the people of the state to organize for the purpose of holding government accountable to our state and federal constitutions. And we have a plan to achieve that goal. And I intend, he says, to personally present that plan to the people of the state, county by county. So this Thursday's meeting is at Faith Assembly. It'll begin at 7 p.m. It's at 25 Golf Club Lane in Poughkeepsie, New York. You'll want to be there. So if you want more information, you can call Bob Schultz at 518-361-8153. Or some prayer points now. Pray for our young people who have been demonized and confused about who they are in order for pedophiles and other sexual perverts and degenerates to take advantage of them. Pray for the trans community who are unfortunately becoming violent toward others and a danger to themselves. Pray that they find deliverance and come to know the God who created them in his image, fearfully and wonderfully made. We must intercede for those who are deceived and are deceiving others. Pray for justice to be restored to our legal and our judicial system that has been so corrupted by godless men and women who now call good evil and evil good. Pray for righteousness and justice to prevail. Pray that evil will be exposed and goodness and virtue will be restored. Pray for pastors, for their health and their safety, and for the boldness to preach the full gospel. At our recent cloth meeting, too few pastors were in attendance. Now, if they're to be leaders in the Hudson Valley, they have responsibility to show up for the warfare to be waged for our state and for our nation. This is no time for petty church politics, especially for those who claim that they don't do politics. New York and America will be saved, but for those clergy who remain silent, they will have to answer to our commander-in-chief, the real one, for their petty partisan politics and their refusal to help lead his church. We're calling on Christian clergy to join us in our John 17:21 tent meeting project planned for September. Pastor, send me an email and let me know you'll be part of the leadership team to see this revival happen here in the Hudson Valley. So if you want help in learning to pray, we encourage you to go to our Rumble channel and look up Battle Prayers. It's a 13-minute teaching on praying for impact. That's going to our Rumble channel, look up Bill Banuchi, and then look up Battle Prayer, Praying for Impact, and you find that 13-minute teaching on praying fervently and with effect. So that's it for this week's Family News Watch. You can join the New York Faith and Freedom Coalition by logging on to www.nyfaithandfreedom.com. This is Reverend Bill Banuchi once again, wishing God's comfort for the afflicted and his affliction for the comfortable, as we pray like it all depends on God and work like it all depends on us until we see America bless God. Take care. God bless. See you next week.